So, what's up, bro? We got a podcast in the metaverse, bro.
Yeah. Who knew that this is what it was all building up to through the entire first season? And now we are here kicking off season 2 with all of you guys, a live studio audience.
Let's go. Every Tuesday.
A podcast. We didn't even know what was happening. We're 15 episodes into this.
It seems to be helping and impacting a lot of people. We'll see you every Tuesday on the Well Metaverse podcast. Peace.
Easy. I don't know why I chuck deuces. Like I don't chuck deuces. What was that?
We're on in 5 seconds ago.
Oh no!
Oculus, how you doing, man?
Doing great, man. It's always great in metaverse, great in the physical world. How about with you?
I would say, along with everything, there's some ups, there's some downs, but all in all, great things are happening. There's
never
left
and right
time to be alive. I know that.
I imagine left and rights means an altercation. Ups and downs are kind of okay, but lefts and rights seem to sound a little more aggressive.
Okay. Oh, because
there's some ups and some downs.
I feel like that might not be the best form. Like,
no, I don't think so.
Get comments. Speaking of comments,
Tuesday.
Yeah. Exterminator says, "Hey guys, how's it going? Ready to splash around?"
Grab your water guns.
Yeah.
He's referring to the whistle. If you blow the whistle, you can hear sound bites from Cray, from Lakes 05, and from Exterminator 94, our voice acting experts.
Nice. Kimberly Ann says, diving in today with a splash. I love it. You guys are paying attention.
Wow. How did they guess?
Let's see. Exterminator. Oh, did I forget my glasses?
They're on your head.
All right. I do have contacts in today, so let me know in the comments if I should go back to glasses. Do I have a little weasel eyes?
I was looking for like the imprints. Like usually people wear glasses have imprints. The sun being blocked here. You don't have any of that. I think Hawaii did you some good.
Yeah. It was nice in Hawaii. 10 out of 10 would recommend.
10 out of 10. So that's all right. I think
all right.
Or just go to Piece of Hawaii by Blades, because I hear that's incredible too.
It's harder to get a suntan in there, but it is
your avatar. That's it.
Yeah. Oh, so it's easier.
It's so much easier, and you don't burn unless you click the wrong circle.
That's right. Yeah.
Man, I've been drinking water like crazy lately. It's so hot out, but I'm loving it. I'm loving the hot.
What's the temp where you're at?
77.
Oh, that's not so hot. It's early.
Maryland, it's windy, it's cold because we're right by the bay. And if it thinks it's hot, it's cold. But if it thinks it's warm, it's hot. So I don't know. I don't understand weather yet.
I know in Michigan, it's super dry here. At least in West Michigan where I'm at. Like we have not gotten any rain. And it's spring. This is when we're supposed to be getting some rain.
Spring. When does summer start? Why do I never know anything relevant or useful? Like I can tell you useless facts about anything, but like summer, I thought it was here. Like I've been hanging by the pool for the last 2 weeks, and I'm like,
right. Yeah. Well, his first day of spring is March 20th. First day of summer.
You were going to tell me first day of spring is coming. I'm like, wait a minute.
Oh no.
March. Okay.
Yep. So summer's got to be here soon.
Anybody know in the chat? Because I don't have a calendar that tells me summer and spring and fall. And
June 21st.
Wow.
All right. Thank you, man.
If someone can Venmo me $1,000, let's go. Same speed.
Yeah.
Cool.
By the way, everybody who is, J Bags, summer started last week here in Northern Virginia. Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
It's hot down there too.
So time zones don't matter. It's summer.
Yeah. So, hey, everybody. Of course, Oculos is stepping in today to co-host as a special guest. We do have a quick message from our normal
Hmm.
co-host.
Live via satellite?
Yeah, via satellite.
I'm in.
In case we're worried about him, he's got a quick message for us. Jason, take it away. It's all good.
It was great.
All right. That would have been more dramatic with some music or something. Who do we got producing this show anyway? Oh, hey, Lolly.
Lolly. Emojis, confetti.
Yeah.
Hey, I just learned how to use everything. Now you want me to add music? Okay. I'll make it my assignment for next week.
Learn music.
It's like flashbacks from growing up. Like, I got something and I did it well. Well, go learn something else now.
Yeah, it's the way we grow every week. It works.
Yeah, well, Lolly, I certainly do appreciate you doing all the things that you do behind the scenes and everything with this. So thanks for all you do and everything in the Soapstone. You got let's see, tomorrow is one of your big days, right?
Yeah, tomorrow we have you mean Good Morning Soapstone? Yeah.
Yeah.
We have a good show tomorrow. Yeah, it's gonna be with Aaron Beasley. He's gonna talk about his builds and his experiences. Yeah. So yeah, he's he's really excited to be on the show, which surprised me. I mean, not that our show isn't fun, but he's like, yeah, I want to do that. He's really happy. So I'm excited.
I'm telling you, Lolly, you guys are a pretty big deal in there. It's good that
one of us
people
is
are recognizing that.
No, I'm just kidding.
Right.
Kidding.
Yeah.
Modesty is pouring out.
And then you just drag Cal along with you.
Yeah, I know, right?
I do, and the only reason I can say that is because he isn't on here right now.
Yeah, right.
Cal, wherever you are, we love you a little bit.
He knows we love him a lot. We love him a lot.
Yeah,
we do.
Yeah.
No, Good Morning Soapstone is great. I mean, I've been on there as a guest. I've been as a guest and then in the audience, and the topics are great. Conversation's great. It's so genuine. Sometimes talk shows are tough to find that conversation, but y'all just the chemistry is just perfect. You do a great job.
Thanks. We appreciate it.
It's funny that you bring that up because there's this incredible chemistry between Lolly, Cal, and the guests that come on. Mm-hmm. And as we're getting a little more visibility now on our events in the Soapstone, we're kind of taking a look at, okay, what shows are scalable, meaning what shows could we go to multiple instances, and what shows do we really need to kind of protect as a single instance show. And Good Morning Soapstone, because of that chemistry, is one of those that, it's probably always going to be a one instance kind of show. Actually, always is a long time. Who knows what the future will hold? But for right now, it seems like the chemistry is there. The guests are loving it. The audience is loving it. So why break up a good thing? So.
Thanks. We really do have a super fun time, and all of our guests have been amazing, and they get as involved as we do. We spend time with them before, go to their worlds, talk to them and stuff, and they are totally willing to give us that time so that they can share their visions and stuff in the metaverse. So it's wonderful. We love having that opportunity. So thank you, Aaron, for giving Cal and me that opportunity. We appreciate it very much.
Indeed, it's the proverbial win-win for sure. Which is all we're looking for. All right,
half a win is good for me.
You'll take half a win? Yeah.
Sometimes that's the down. The ups, that's the half. I'll take the win.
Yeah. So speaking of worlds and good experiences, you and your team just dropped a pretty darn explosive world.
Explosive. Is that a word?
Explosive world. Yeah. Yeah, last I looked, you were at number 2 overall traffic.
Who does number 2 work for? For the Austin Powers fans out there, no one is the answer. No one. All right, I've aged myself out of the conversation. No.
Okay. All right. Oh, look at our viewership drop like a rock.
I'm literally looking like, what am I seeing? What's happening? Bye, everybody.
Yeah. So tell us about your new world, man.
Man, Splash. So first of all, Splash is a Vidu collaboration, and in every world that I've ever published after my first one, that Maze of Useless Facts, has been a Vidu collaboration. And it's very important to put Vidu collaboration in most of these worlds, but when the worlds are actually Vidu worlds, they're already well known as a collaboration because we involve the community. And we brought some people in from the community, as we just mentioned, Cray and Sturminator, doing excellent voice acting. But this world was just unexpected, an unexpected hit. And for it to climb the top 20 within a week, going from 16 to number 2 spot, overtaking Venues of all places, never expected. We never expected to hit the top 20. We just wanted to create a fun world where people could feel familiar hanging out with people of all ages, because recently they did open up to 13 and older. And, prior to, there was a lot of I guess animosity towards younger players since it was advertised at 18 plus. So it was supposed to be a community pool, and people were just going to hang out and have a good time together. And it transformed into this unexplainable Splash pool party.
Yeah. Well, and you say it just kind of happened, but I think that there was, well, I mean, I got a little inside peek early on. It was very intentional, how you approached gaining visibility for the world, right?
Right. So the plan behind the world and what was published is definitely different than what the original idea was, and the marketing behind it all kind of came together very cohesively and purposefully. But I just meant the vision for it. I'm basically the ideas guy, as they like to call me in Vidu, but I'm realistically the listener. Like, I want to hear feedback. I want to know what people are enjoying. And the marketing for it was a lot of leaning into what I know works, communicating with other creators, collaborating with other creators, doing a lot of groundwork to just share the fact that we have a new world coming. And instead of saying, can you put my door in your world? Can you promote my world? Can you help out the Vidu team by doing this? We just hadn't invited people. We said we would love it if you come by. We're launching a new world on Friday. Grant, the big launch is going to be on Saturday. And we would love your support. And, people were excited to hear that there was a Vidu world. They were excited to be able to share a door. And we got to shout out Meta for allowing doors to be dropped without adding testers, because that makes it so much easier. Yeah. And the support has just been overwhelming. So I have to say thank you to literally everyone who stuck around after my Austin Powers joke, and anyone else who will watch this for their help. No, to everybody. It's just been so amazing.
Sturm says Dr. Evil. He's riding the wave there. So it's interesting because there's a lot of moving parts in what you talked about. One of the things that you said kind of early on in there was that you didn't call people and say, can you do me this favor? You didn't just shoot out mass messages to people saying, drop a door if you would, or something like that. What you did is you invited the people that you had a relationship with into the world to experience it. And then from there, when it was organic to do so, made the ask for a door. Yeah. Go ahead.
And even taking it a step further, for those who offered to share a door, we added them as a top supporter in tours. Because with World Tours, we every week, multiple times a week, thanks to Terminator again, are able to take people on these world hops to go see new worlds. And kind of as a benefit of having that partnership with Vidu, World Tours is one of the the weekly events that's showcased in Splash, and more people are going to World Tours, to where now their worlds are getting seen on top of the weekly events now every single day by people who are visiting Splash.
Yeah, lots of people. I mean, I don't know how many people are in there right now. You probably do.
Right now we have more than one. No,
more than one. Yes, that's
they are enjoying. No, the thing with Splash is that the first week we really wanted to learn what was working, what didn't, and so we stared at those numbers just to see what we could do to kind of improve it. But it's usually averaging about 30 to 40 people throughout the day, and then once people get out of bed and certain parts of the world start to wake up, it's 80 to 100 people, and it kind of sits there all night until probably 2-3 in the morning. And it's weird to wake up at 8 a.m. and there's 40 people in your world. It's like, I can't believe it.
Yeah.
So
Well, it's good. It's a retentive world. There's stuff to do when you go there, and then there's reasons to come back.
oh yeah.
How'd you go about making it retentive?
So the first premise was the familiar space, something that people could recognize, know how to enjoy it the moment they walk through, and then give people things that kind of were different experiences throughout the world. Some people really love going up to the podium with the jousting sticks, or Lakes calls them boomsticks, and they're all day just knocking each other off the podium. Other
Yeah.
people, they all hop in the raft and they pedal around the entire, pool. And some people go in there and they want to get into the Vid Choose snack shack and they just want to pretend like they're selling hamburgers and hot dogs and pizza. So it really just leaned into a familiar space, something that people would all kind of recognize. The different age groups are going to be in there. Give people some quiet areas where they could get away from the action, and just keep it engaging to what we're hearing people are enjoying and not enjoying, and kind of shifting a little bit throughout the first week.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and that's so important to like not launch a world considering it finished, but launch a world considering it starting. And get that feedback. Watch the people interact and see what works and see what doesn't, and make those changes.
And a huge shout out to T. Mark Berman, because that was the first advice I got in Horizon Worlds was, no matter how much time you spend on something that you think people are going to love, they're going to enjoy it, and they're going to spend all their time doing it, you have to play test. You have to watch people enjoying your worlds to see, because he had all this work going into the train that went up to the top of the peak, and then people were skiing down the mountains, but it was this high dive. It was literally a cube that was a diving board, and people were jumping off of it over and over and over again.
Yeah. It's funny because, like, now that you say that, this just kind of came to mind. There's no correlation between complexity and enjoyment. We feel as builders, we can feel like the more complex, the better. But there's no correlation.
Well, there is a correlation between over complexity and non-enjoyment.
There you go.
So always be hand in hand.
Yeah. So an inverse correlation. Yeah. Which, instinctively it feels like more complex is better. So.
And
Sturm Rocks is always there. Lolly popped up, Sturm Rocks. Lollipop. Lollipop. Yeah, Sturm does rock for sure.
Shout out Sturm. No, the over complexity part is something that when you're pushing the limits of Horizon regularly, mostly to find bugs and to improve the user experience for creators, but putting that into a world for people to enjoy does not work. It's tough. Like, I don't want to say anything negative about Horizon Royale, because it's a fun, amazing world, but it took months to get it to where it is because of asset spawning and because of bugs. But the benefit was now everyone can enjoy asset spawning to the max. There's no limit. It works well. It despawns. It doesn't break your world. But the downfall is that 4 months of not getting retention and high bounce rate for people just getting smashed out of the world all the time. That's the trade-off for what Vidju does so much, is just do it for the community, even if it doesn't pay out in the menu.
Yeah. Well, and of course, just a couple days ago, there was a world that is basically just like a blank canvas with some things to hit each other with.
Love it.
And it shot to the top. I mean, that right there is the case in point case study.
Yeah, I don't know how the menu metrics work or how somebody lands in the highlighted or top 20, but the Hit People Simulator, I gotta shout it out. I don't care how old this creator is, if they're, regardless. The fact that a world on the grid, and you basically go in and use, the objects in the world to smack the dummies around and knock them off of the grid. It's just something about it that's just fun. But the step further is that while it's so simple, if you knock the dummies off of the grid, they respawn back in their original space. So there's some level of scripting that's in there, and he's the only builder. So shout out to young creators that are in here, like the next generation of builders and creators in the metaverse.
Yeah. It's I know. We see it a lot where younger people come into the Soapstone and talk about builds that they're working on and stuff. It's amazing to see.
Yeah, and there's creators that are supporting them, not just in spirit, but trying to, offer advice and point them in the direction of resources. So keep doing that.
For
Imagine if
sure.
we had these tools and these opportunities when we were, teens, because it's open to teenagers. We'd
Yep.
we'd be better comedians. I'm sorry, I didn't mean that. I meant better creators. Sheesh.
Yeah. Well, as far as better comedians, I've heard some of the kids up on stage at the Soapstone. Some of them, like, they bring the heat. They're pretty good.
It gives me more ammunition for my dad jokes at home, so I appreciate
That's right.
it.
Yeah. Where'd you learn that dad joke? 14-year-old on stage at the Soapstone.
I think Sturm has a favorite activity in Splash there. That's one of many people's favorites. The batons.
Oh yeah,
there it is.
He likes to go there and yeet kids with the batons.
And for context, because it does sound aggressive, this is a podium where you have like the American Gladiators. Again, sorry for the reference. It's a jousting podium with these sticks that look like massive Q-tips. And Lakes scripted this fantastic pushing mechanic where when you hit somebody only on that platform, it launches them. And I mean launches them to the edge of the world. And I swear to you, all day long, it's people on that platform knocking people off, and they're coming back in the gate into the park or the pool, laughing and having a great time. And it's just the first time I've seen a shared activity where people aren't upset, angry, frustrated, feeling they're not skilled enough. And it's so simple. So simple.
Yeah, that's a really interesting point, because you talk about hitting kids with batons. Like, hey, that's
well, that's why I wanted to give context.
Yeah, that's right. But both parties involved enjoy it equally.
Yeah.
It's like you said, kids go flying through the air and then come running right to get back up there and try it again. Yeah,
it's like pick me up, and then you pick them up, put them down, pick me up. So the repetitive process.
Exactly.
And you also get a score.
It's like in the pool when you throw the kids up and catch them. And,
Yeah, we don't catch them though. No catching.
Oh,
just
in the pool, it's No,
but the great thing that Lakes did with this was, and if you're holding a baton and you like Sturm said, yeet somebody across the world, you'd expect you get a score for how hard you hit somebody. But it's the inverse. It's how far you flew from the platform, and so they're excited to get that higher score.
So that's really cool to inverse the scoring there. And all that. So you win by getting launched.
It's like hit
cool.
me further, and it's like,
yeah, that's very
so Sturm
cool.
will spend all day in there just yeeting the kids.
Yeah, really doing them a favor. Somebody just give. That's
again, he is a giving man, very giving.
That's in the Soapstone. We've got something kind of with the same core philosophy there, that typically when you applaud somebody on stage, the points would go to the person on stage, and they do, but equal to that, the people that are awarding the points get points as well. So
I love that.
So
Have you ever shared why that is, or where it came from? Because the applause credits were something that was just like everybody was leaning into. It was just a great idea to really reward people on stage in a non-tangible way. Like, it was just thanks. But where did the idea come from for rewarding the supporters?
Yeah. So, like when In World purchases opened up, I was thinking about how to do that. And I wanted to make sure it was something that was going to benefit everybody involved. I didn't want any of it to be, I didn't want it to be something that it was exclusionary or mandatory to succeed or anything like that. I wanted everything to be something that would benefit all the people involved. So it was just, and of course, supporting people is core to the Soapstone. Like, it's almost more reasonable to have the supporters points than the most entertaining points, or at least equal. So it just made sense. And the same thing with the supporters wall, that idea of supporting each other in the community is so core to the Soapstone that it just was automatic to have that come in.
So imagine going to a comedy show and because you laughed and clapped, they gave you a T-shirt on the way out. Just because, like that's incredible.
Yeah, you're right. I actually hadn't like drawn that correlation, but really that's exactly what we're doing.
Yeah.
The people that clap the most, the 5 people that clap the most each week get a free T-shirt.
Imagine
and then
all
of
the
course
comedians
the 5
that would just crush it, just be like, yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, and a free T-shirt is quite a bit more than most comedians make performing IRL and stuff. So
wow.
Yeah.
Well, no, I love it.
Open mic anyway.
Well, yeah. They don't call it paid mic or commission mic.
No. they call it the gym.
The gym.
Yeah, it's like getting your workout in.
One of the things that ironically went into Splash was a stage, and I vetoed it.
Oh, really?
It was going to be a stage, and I didn't share why. So exclusive information on something not even in the world. But the stage idea was something because we see that these younger players, they love to get up on stage and sing and tell jokes and talk to a crowd. And we already have that. We have that in a number of worlds. And obviously Soapstone is giving people a voice where a lot of people out here in the physical world are intimidated or they're worried that they're not going to do well. And the Soapstone is that space for it. So I felt like it didn't match the setup of the world, but it also didn't belong in the world because there are better spaces that do it much, much better. And it really feels so much better to get up on stage at the Soapstone and to have a good experience than to throw it into the corner of a world that just doesn't need to be there.
Yeah, that's interesting because what goes into a successful world is as much what doesn't go into the successful world. Saying no to certain ideas is super important.
Yeah, and it's part of being on a team. You have to talk out why, not just I don't want it there, I don't want to do it, but why.
Yeah.
And we ended up putting the hoop from Street Hoops in there in that corner, and it worked out pretty well. So.
Hey, yeah.
Totally not a selfish ask, but it worked.
Yeah, that's good. That's very, very good.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's cool to see that world go to the top because you and Video, the whole org there really has been focused on giving back and providing for the community. So it's really nice to see you guys get a spotlight spot there. Again, super cool. And of course, like you guys, as you commented, all about collaboration and like, man, that's so near and dear to my heart. And all that, it's super important. Oh, I lost something over here. All right, I'm back.
Well, collaboration is like core to Vidu. Like when Alex first joined, he was like everybody else, trying to find his place, trying to understand what is this place? How do I find people? Where do I go? And even scripting was intimidating. He didn't want to get into it. And because of all those feelings of his first experience, he wanted to change that for others and created, these amazing tutorials that, even at its core at the very beginning were one-on-one sessions with people and realizing the scalability issues, had to create something that was, a resource that you can come back to. And every single day, I mean, not even exaggerating, it says every single day, there's someone in the Vidu Discord talking about something they need help with or offering help or sharing what they figured out. And, it's just given us more opportunities to be able to help the community, create educational content for the community, to just be of service to the community, because there's so many people that are looking for something. And while we can't fill every need, we fill every need we possibly can through the video content, through the world builds, through collaboration, last year's paid opportunities. Like there's so many things that we found that we could offer as a business without having to do anything differently than what we were already doing, with the exception of paying people. But yeah.
Well, it's good stuff, and again, I'm glad to see it kind of roll back around because if well, I just referenced this I think a week ago on the show. A college professor of mine who said that you can have everything you want as long as you help enough people get everything they want.
Oh, yeah.
And you've been helping people, forever. So it's nice to see that come back around for you.
Well, the helping people only can go so far, and so we try to engage on the Meta Creator Discord and ask them for a little bit of help to support, because we do have a lot of people in here that are from outside of the U.S. Not we don't have native speaking community guides for French and Spanish community. There are communities that have come up for the Spanish speaking community and for the French Canadian community that have been helping to support these new creators and new explorers, but it's just something that I feel like I wish we could do more, because we don't have fluent French speaking people that are in Splash or in World Tours. And we've only so far translated English and Spanish in tours. And, I can at least communicate in Spanish if people are looking for something or need help.
Now, didn't you just have an interaction with somebody who spoke French?
Yeah. So while there are French speaking people that come to World Tours, we had someone who came into Splash, and the unfortunate thing was that we didn't have an easy way to communicate with them to kind of offer them some suggestions on, how to enjoy the world or what to do. So it was one of those opportunities where we have to figure out how to do better on welcoming the, people who speak other languages. But on the other hand, recently somebody posted a video and they're fluent French and English isn't their first language. And it was just them enjoying the world, just going around laughing, having fun, playing with the squirt guns, getting yeeted off the platform, not by Terminator that time. And it just feels good that there are people enjoying these worlds, even if it's not translated in their native language, just because fun doesn't need translation,
Yeah, I hear you. And in fact, we've had a French community developing in the Soapstone, and we got a new show to serve. Actually, Lolly, I'm going to bring you back out, and maybe you can share a little bit about this new show that we're launching.
I think
Sure.
Steph shouted it out too.
Yes, we're very excited about it. It's starting with French, but we're also going to incorporate Spanish speakers in it as well. And what we've done is Bart is amazing. Bart speaks 7 languages. He's one of our producers.
Wow.
Super full of energy. That's right, Sturm. Shout out to Bart for creating the show Les Soapstone. And so basically what we do is we have a meetup with the French people every Wednesday afternoon, and we kind of decide what we're going to do from there. And we've done different things, talk show, some trivia. We've played little, American French exchanging words. We've world hopped with them, and kudos and shout out to those builders who have created worlds. One being Tanzer, where there is in 2 languages. So we could play a game together. The French could read their instructions in French, and we could read ours in English, and we could play a game together. And that's beautiful. I don't know if somebody's already doing this, but there are plenty of people in Horizons who speak multi languages. And maybe what we need to do is kind of put a call out there and say, hey, if you're interested in getting involved in some of these activities and you could help us with the translation or become producers or show hosts or whatever, where we can bridge those gaps, I think that would be awesome. But for right now in the Soapstone, we're doing great things, and outreach to those people is one of our big priorities right now in shows. So we're excited about it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that show is like such a good example to me of like what can happen when you get the right people in the right spots. And Bart is like handcrafted to lead this initiative. I mean, this guy is just perfectly suited to be successful in that role. So it's so exciting. And again, like some of the core things of the Soapstone is to encourage people towards the spotlight and to empower leaders. So to see people find their spotlight and step into the leadership role, I love it. Like that's the reward for all of this, is when we see people thrive.
And one thing I wanted to add, they are using us as an example to create things for themselves. So, they're
Great.
starting to say, how did they do that at the Soapstone? We can do that too. And they're starting to do that. And it's just wonderful to watch. It's fun.
Excellent. Well, and it's funny because the third thing that's kind of one of the core fundamentals of the Soapstone is to share what we're learning. So we're not trying to figure out the thing that's going to give us an advantage over everyone else. We're trying to figure out the most enjoyable experience and the most effective way to connect and thrive, and then share that with everybody.
Absolutely.
It's so I love that. Mayhem with his comedy club Warped, they just launched a Discord channel, and it's starting to kind of build out and build a community around that, and I was talking to him and I was like, I see you got a Discord going. That's awesome. He said, yep. I'm taking pages right out of the Soapstone book. And I'm like, excellent. That is what should be happening. If we figure out something that's working, other people take it and apply it and do it. Because all in all, I mean, the more better comedy clubs we have on the platform, the better we all are going to be. The more better communities that we have, the better we're going to be. The more better, I say more better, the more better we're all going to be. More better.
Can't believe it's not better.
I can't believe it's not better.
No, one of the things you said really hits home about helping people and sharing knowledge, because so many times, people have asked me, bye, Lolly. So many people have asked me, how come you don't charge for this? Why aren't people paying for this? How come you're not making money for this? Why isn't Meta paying you to do your thing? And the passion doesn't come from money. Passion comes from people getting help, finding out what they're looking for, and then understanding. Like once they get that knowledge and they're like, oh, and they go apply it, like that full circle never ends. It's just more people come in, more people learn, more people apply that, and then it becomes the content of the future, tours. So everything that we do, not just, on the video side and not just for me personally, but all of the people in this space that are trying to educate, trying to help, really we're finding joy in just being helpful and of people finding that help of us.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah. And that's the mentality that's going to help everybody succeed. And it's an abundance mentality is what it is. So when you look around, you see an abundance of opportunity, you see an abundance of resources, you see abundance. There are folks that look around and have a scarcity mentality. Like there's only a few, so I got to get mine, and unfortunately that when that mindset creeps in, it can create some hostile and toxic situations.
Yeah, and I unfortunately love, I'm like a moth to a flame when the negativity pours in, or there's any kind of negative change to the community. I always ask the questions like, is this what you want to bring into this space when we have enough of it outside? Is this actually how you saw yourself coming into this space? And is it actually improving your well-being, your mental health? Do you want to see something positive come from it? Do you want to see change? How are you trying to enact that change that's going to help others? And, sometimes it, falls on deaf ears, but a lot of people who come in with the mentality that it's their space, it's how they want to act, and they're going to do what they choose until they realize it's not productive, they turn around. They, actually want to be a part of things. They find their community. They start actually improving this space. And it's really great to see.
Yeah. Yep. And it's so important because the people that are in here right now are setting the tone. We're setting the societal standards on what's rewarded, what's punished, what's what's valuable, what's attractive. Like we're deciding that, and it will have ramifications for long after we're relevant.
What's mostly why I had so much respect for what you do, because you're clean comedy. There are spaces where there aren't clean comedy establishments that do well, and you're doing the clean comedy for a different audience, and it brings a fresh perspective to something that people may typically associate with obscenities or foul language, and people can still laugh without hitting those marks. So it's a great space, and I'm glad that you're still promoting it a year and a half later.
Yeah. Good. Good stuff. So what's next for the Splash universe? Is it too early to call it a Splash universe?
Since it's a team effort, there's really no definite yet. There's obviously going to be more Vidu builds because, nobody who has a successful moment or an impactful thing that affects so many people kind of just says that was it, that was the thing, I'm
Right,
done.
right.
The one trick pony. So we do have another world being worked right now, and it's going to be another familiar setting that people can enjoy together. And even if it doesn't hit the menu, that's okay, because when you build these spaces, you have to build it for your own passions, your own reasons. And if those reasons are, I want somebody to see it so I can, sell a world, or I want to hit the menu so that way I get 10,000 visitors, those aren't valid reasons to make you feel good about what you're creating. It's like when people create art. Most people create art because it's an outlet of their passion, of their creativity. And some people do sell the art to people who enjoy their work. But overall, as an artist or as a creative, you're really just creating something that you enjoy. And that's the focus of all these Vidu projects. It's not about the menu. It's not about top 20. It's never about visits. It's never about people giving us recognition. None of that matters over the fact that when you hear someone laughing, when you hear someone say, this is my favorite, this is the most fun I've had, any of those positive things that people are saying, that makes you feel great about what you built. And it doesn't mean that you can't feel that by inviting your friends to your world. And if it never hits the menu, that's okay. Keep building, keep being creative, and keep collaborating.
Yeah. Well, and of course, like the hitting the menu is like the creme de la creme right now, for good reason. Because when you hit the menu, you gain visibility, and when you have visibility, you have growth. So there's good reason that that's sought after. However, there are many things involved with hitting the menu that are beyond our control.
Yep.
And that goes both ways, like the soapstone. We've been very successful. We've lived in the menu for a long time. It would be easy to be like, that's because I did this, and this. And there are things that we and our team have done to make it an appealing experience. But in addition to that, there's a whole lot of things that were outside of our control that helped us be successful. And at the same time, a world that might not make that, it's not necessarily solely because of this or this. There are many things that are outside of people's control. So it's really, really tough and dangerous to be setting goals to hit like the top 20, because again, there's so many things that are outside of your control. Rather focus on the things that are under our control. Watching people interact, we can do that. That's 100% under our control. Setting a goal to make daily revisions and upgrades, setting a goal to to hop around to other worlds and talk to world creators about your thing, deciding to build relationships with people and appreciate, there's a lot of things that are under our control that we can set goals for. If we try to set a goal for making the top 20, really it's just a hope because there's too much out of our control.
Yeah, I want to say it was about maybe 6 months ago. I had a conversation, might have just been with Lakes, might have been with a few others, but I said that if we want to get whatever this next build is, visibility, we got to figure out a way to get in the menu. And I think everybody that we were talking to kind of had the same thought and feeling about, sounds great, but how do you do that? How do you find people when there aren't really enough people in here to go around? If we're all fighting over the same 1,000 people that are in here a day, or 10,000 or 500, however, we don't know. But if we're all fighting over the same traffic, where are they going? And if it's not your world and it's the ones that are in the menu, it makes it really hard to discover your world if it's not already there. And from that conversation, we had never, like I said, we had never anticipated hitting the menu whatsoever. But I was in the same perspective as so many other creators that have never had their world seen in the menu. That how do you find visibility if you don't have visibility? It's like you can't get a good job
Yeah.
without experience, and you can't get experience without a good job. And so it's so much thought that really all you have to do is just create a fun world and connect with people. That was the core mechanic of getting this world seen, was just connecting with people, inviting them to check it out, and then if they had a good time, just share their experience with others. And it's that word of mouth that has been around since the beginning of sales, I guess. Word of mouth is the best tool for getting people excited or interested in what you're doing. And unfortunate thing is, the second we hit the menu, it shot up like a rocket, and with the good came a lot of bad. And so we've focused all that energy that people were pouring in, with all the accusations and rumors. And we said, well, I'm sorry you feel that way, but we're really enjoying the fact that people are loving our world, and we're going to continue to share those experiences with others, because there's nothing we do about the negativity.
Yeah. Well, and that comes right back to the same principle. There's things that we can control and things that we can't. And what I've found is what other people think, what they say, what they do, 100% of the time, that falls into that bucket of things that we can't control. So, actually, I mean, it comes back to the serenity prayer. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things that I cannot control, the courage to change the things that I can, and the wisdom. That's the important part. And the wisdom to know the difference there.
That's the one.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are focused on creating worlds that they enjoy, and they also want it to blow up in the menu. Those two things don't match unless you enjoy worlds that are enjoyed by a public audience that is larger than yourself. And that's the honest truth. Creators are not your audience unless you want a very private world where creators can come enjoy and you can have discussions with that community. It's kind of like right now we have a very small, compared to the largest community of English speakers, we have a small community of French, small community of Spanish, and those worlds, they don't hit the menu. Sometimes you'll see one pop up because they are shared between all of the different languages, but majority of these worlds do not see the menu because they focus on their community and they're smaller. So it's hard to get that shared outside. So focusing on creators, we tried. It's great for education, so it's still a valuable resource. In every build, there's some kind of content that comes out of it to give away every mechanic in the world. And I think people focus on, if they don't have the best scripting skills, they can't make a good world. Well, that's not true. If you have YouTube, you can go apply every single mechanic in every Vidju world yourself in every world. And shout out to Kate Austin. She literally went and created her own slides in her new world, and they are more fun than ours. We literally spent an hour in there going down her slides. They were so much fun.
Yeah.
So the tools are out there. You just have to spend the time to just go and apply them.
Yeah. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. Well, this has been fun.
At least on one side of the table, I guess.
And
is Lolly coming with that? She's singing us out today. I can't.
Yeah. Let's bring Lolly back out. So there's been a special request for you to sing us out today, Lolly.
I'm sorry, I can't. What?
Oh yeah. It's bad connection.
New phone. Who dis?
New phone.
I don't know.
That's hilarious.
Very cool.
Yeah, we already know tonight's trivia night at the Soapstone, which is always great. We get a big crowd for that. Everybody loves trivia. So that's what we got going on at the Soapstone. What else do we have going on? Tomorrow, as you know, is Good Morning Soapstone, followed by Bart's Lay Soapstone show. And then, it just keeps going from there. I mean, Thursday, Meta Voices Hour. I mean, we just got fun thing after fun thing happening. And then Friday, we're coming back to the Well Metaverse show, and we are hoping to see the rest of the Vidju team if they're available. If not, maybe we'll just have Oculus come back and for the In World group, take them to Splash. because we do go visit
if
the world.
everything falls through, maybe. Like,
I mean, if we have no more choices. No, I'm just kidding. No, but I'm sure everybody would love to visit that world because I went there. You know, Aaron, I had a great time there. It was the thing that is important. I think that some builders miss sometimes is the layout of the world matters. And like with Oculus, we had a nice place to talk. It wasn't hiding. We were just right there out in the open, but it's just off the beaten path, so the kids just didn't bother us. But we could hear all the laughter and the fun going on in the background, and it's laid out very well, and it is a lot of fun at Splash. So everyone should go see it.
Surprisingly enough, things like what you just mentioned, they're not a secret. We've been sharing all of this and more every chance we get. Creators just have a vision, and sometimes they don't apply things that could improve that, like your layout, making sure everyone can see each other throughout the whole world. Some people want to put these amazing towers and all these separate, fun things that take and separate your crowd. But joining a world of 20 people and you can find 3, it makes you want to leave because you feel like you're not included.
Right.
So my wisdom to share with you on the way out, find a way so everyone can see each other and still do their own thing.
Yeah.
Agreed. That makes sense. And if it's okay, I'd just like to say in the show that I have today, it's kind of funny along these same lines. We're going to be talking about getting along and not about the individuals, but maybe more focusing on some of the creative stuff that's happening and the arguing and all that. So I was hoping, Oculus, if you weren't busy, you might come by. So, but anyway, that's what we're going to be talking about over there. So
sounds fun.
All right. Yeah. And how do people find that, Lally?
Oh, it's the Let's Talk About It world, and it's not an event. You just go there. Not Let's Talk About Balls. That's a different world.
Now I'm intrigued. I have to know what this is.
Yeah.
Well, consequently, my world, who created Let's Talk About Balls, is my guest on my show today, so it's going to be even more fun.
Nice.
Yeah. And what is Let's Talk About Balls?
Oh, it's just a fun world with a lot of balls. I mean, what did you think it was going to be?
Yeah. You get what you get.
Yeah, you get what you get. Yeah. Oh, good stuff. Good stuff. Well, thank you, everybody. And hey, Lunch Lady, thank you. Glad to see. We've had team events going to Splash.
Thrive Pavilion is taking a Splash field trip on Thursday. So the older adult community in Horizon join Thrive Pavilion and check out their field trip on Thursday, because they've got an entire calendar of events for their community, and they are blessing us with their presence at Splash this Thursday.
And speaking of Thrive, Rob's going to be our guest on Metaverse, not this Friday, but the following Friday. And we will be talking a lot about Thrive, so that'll be fun.
Good stuff. Hey,
just speaking it into existence again. Where's that Venmo I asked for earlier?
Yeah. Solaris, hi.
Royalty is in the building.
Man, I gotta, to wrap this up and end this, I just want to give a shout out to Solaris and the whole Inspire team. We got some behind the scenes things cooking right now, and the collaboration and the dynamic of the way that everybody is working together and doing stuff is awesome.
So look forward to Splash Stone coming soon.
Yep. We decided we're going to do a water park.
Well, we need one of those. We need one.
Well, that's exciting that Aaron's going to have Puddles water park coming soon. So
yeah.
We're excited to see it this Friday.
Absolutely, yeah. He's on tomorrow, right?
Good Morning Soapstone tomorrow.
Yeah, good stuff.
I'm guessing your lineup really well, so I'm headed to the store to get me a lotto ticket.
All right. Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for being a part of Well Metaverse. We'll see you in the Soapstone and Splash and Let's Talk About It and so many other great places in Meta Horizon Worlds. Thanks. See ya.
Thanks.